Welcome back to Soccer Wondernotes. It is Thursday, July 7th. Let's dive in. We're going to start off today with an interesting situation with Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are prepared to loan 19-year-old Fabio Silva to Anderlecht in the Belgian league. This one's interesting because Fabio Silva signed in September of 2020 for £36 million after they had just unloaded some other talent and were sort of refreshing the club with what was supposed to be really expensive young talent. Fabio Silva, that's a big move for what was then a 17-year-old. And it hasn't really panned out. He's only scored, I think, 4 goals in 60-something games. It really hasn't worked out for them now, so they're I think worried that he's not going to get in the first team this year, which is a bad sign because Wolves are not particularly deep. And so now they're loaning him to the Belgian league to get some playing time. Now, the report says it is a loan not to buy, so they're not giving up on him, which that's why it suggests that he's just simply not going to get in the lineup this year. And that should be concerning for a guy who's now been with the team for 2 years and is still only 19, but can't crack what is not a particularly deep Premier League lineup. So things not trending well for Fabio Silva, but hopefully he can go to Anderlecht, which is a good club, and get some playing time and find his form again so he can come back to Wolves next year. Next up, we've got some more Chelsea news because we can't go a day this summer without them doing something. Reports now are out that Callum Hudson-Odoi is possibly available either for loan or for full transfer, and is gaining interest from both Newcastle and Bayern Munich. Now, Chelsea seems to want to loan him out. He lost favor in Tuchel's system because he's a pure winger that just doesn't seem to fit in Tuchel's system. And at some point when the likes of Hudson-Odoi, Christian Pulisic, Romelu Lukaku all don't fit in your system, and maybe you got a bad system, but that's a video for a different day. Hudson-Odoi is still only 21, talented, and spent some time last year playing at wingback in Tuchel's system, which is out of place for him. So they're looking for a spot for him. The report insinuates that they want to loan him. Newcastle might be interested in that as they retool. I'd be surprised if Bayern is really interested in taking him in a loan unless they thought they could buy him. They are deep enough that they don't need just 21-year-old depth, I wouldn't think, but if they had a chance to buy him, certainly. Newcastle is really building around young talent, so they would snatch Hudson-Odoi up in a second and be happy for it. And maybe if it's a loan situation where they think they can end up buying him, they'd be interested there. But regardless, Hudson-Odoi, as long as Thomas Tuchel's still the manager at Chelsea, doesn't look like he's going to get significant, consistent playing time. And if he does, it's at a position at wing back, which is no good. So looking for a move there. And speaking of Newcastle, they have been linked with Jean-Clair Todibo, a 22-year-old center back from Nice. Newcastle is everywhere this summer in the transfer market, and I hate to say it, but I love to say it. I love what they're doing, which is going after young talent. That it would have been really, really enticing for them to throw a bunch of money at overpriced veterans, and they did a little bit during the season because they had to stay afloat. They had to, not get relegated, so I get that. But they're not doing that this summer. They just got Sven Botman, who's 22. Now they're going after other young, talented players, particularly at center back, where they can really build a foundation. This would be another great move if they could land it. And it's got to be a scary proposition for Premier League fans who aren't Newcastle fans to see a club with this kind of money making really smart decisions. The Premier League should really be on notice for Newcastle. I think we're going to talk about that and expand on that in a video coming soon. That's it for Soccer Wonder Notes. Have a great day, everybody.